There you go. Hello and welcome to the live after show for The Last Stitch Season 2, episode 25. At the end,
We're
we're
still
done.
technically alive.
We made it. We survived.
We
Somehow,
technically
we fought
are
Tyranids and
survivors.
orcs and been near space marines and we're still alive.
Yeah.
We even stole one of their bolters.
I'm gonna blame Vandy for that one.
Yeah, no, that was just an
I
inevitability.
did tell them to not do anything stupid, and they should have been. I don't know. I don't know.
What happened
wanna-
to the owner of that bolter? Like, is he just very confused?
As a point, Vandy, when you tell people not to do something stupid, going into battle against orcs and tyranids is demonstrably stupid. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I have a person on my team though that might have assisted in something like that. Captain Joel Staten.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
I remember that person.
Yeah.
Wait, should we go through
Probably
the
look
dead?
the other way. He'd probably see them doing something, be like, I saw nothing. I saw nothing.
I think if a 1-4 saw a bolter being stolen, they'd be like, "Oh, I definitely didn't say anything because if I did, I will die."
Oh, most of the other, I feel like, Iron Brigade would tell on them and they'd get in trouble. But that specific one, if they were lucky, he would not tell.
The thing is, if the 12th tried to punish them without it being necessarily primer involved, would probably give them something they would enjoy because they're so opposite. Rewards are like
Honestly,
cleaning
yeah.
things.
Yeah, we have to like switch up how we, like, I guess punish them in a way, like, or I guess it's not even that. It's that like if yeah, when was that in like the first season when I tried to punish your people?
Yeah, and they enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, this doesn't make any goddamn
These guys
sense.
are weirdos.
Yeah, it's
Why
like,
do they enjoy being given extra jobs?
yeah, you guys have to do more work. Oh yeah, sure, fuck yeah, we love that shit.
It's like they
Makes the
enjoy
time
being
go
in
by
the
faster.
military.
You'll get automatic downtime. Oh, that's the worst. Like, it's just
You're not
Like,
allowed in
what?
combat. No.
like honestly, it would be like the worst for the 21st, but again, the opposite for the 12th. Like, it's just
Yeah,
so
being
silly.
banned from combat will be the 12th dream.
Mm.
Being
I could-
forced to combat would be the 21st dream.
I could answer one of the questions that was shot out, which was Pav, which was when did the rear guard surprise you the most, for good or bad, and completely change up your plans? So in season 1, it was probably the horrific Air Force rolls that opened
yeah.
up the initial thing, and
Oh, set
I think
off
the hive thing
flyers.
really screwed us up. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
That really changed a lot. In season 2, it was weird enough right at the start when logistics and comms they're not the calling core, they're the signal core, messed up so horrifically that you were like without supplies and without comms for a majority of the beginning of the invasion. I was like, oh, this is gonna change a lot. So yeah. That was a significant adjustment to make.
I'd agree with both of those. And also there was a point where like the Medicaid had some trouble, and that made it so like we couldn't heal our troops up. So I think there was like a time where like my character, for instance, I had like a few injuries and they couldn't come back on the battlefield.
Yeah, no, that did significantly slow down your like regurgitation by Medicaid back into the fight. Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, those were the major ones, but all through both campaigns, the rearguard contributed massively to changing my campaign and things that happened and everything. It was how it was supposed to be designed, so very fun, but at times difficult to be like, how the hell does this work? You know, like. But then there are instances where like the artillery rolled really badly, and then Lime rolled how he rolled for positioning, and it ended up as like just made sense that it hit his the trench line.
It was one time, the one-off event, complete accident, not even all my fault.
It wasn't a one-off event for the artillery. They were very spotty at best. So
it's the artillery way, isn't it? It's like, you what is it? Dear grid coordinates or whatever. I don't know. Like this rough area is gonna get destroyed. We might go over the edges a little bit here and there, but like roughly that spot's gonna be gone soon.
I lost a really good trooper during that. My big guy.
Do we want to go through the dead?
There was a lot.
We can go through like our most notable dead.
But before you do your dead, General Hey is alive and still operational. Whether he remains that way, who knows? Yes, the armor did do very, very well a lot of the time. Armor was one of your more like core things you could rely on during the fights. So,
the danger close zone is the battlefield. Spoken like a true artilleryman.
Yeah, the rear guard that had the most problems were the Imperial Navy or Air Force had a lot of issues off and on. The artillery, the Medicaid had a few spotty moments. I think the Special Forces and Recon ended up killing a lot of their troops just through like they were sent on really difficult missions, so it makes sense that they had high casualties, but their roles didn't help definitely. But yeah, it was. I remember multiple episodes of Tyler cursing the logistics and the signal.
Oh my god, the whole instance of like the gorilla thing and dealing with Caddick. I was like, I need to know what's happening over there.
There was also the heavy weapons in season 1. They probably had the worst record of all time. Like they just could not set up, they couldn't suppressive fire, like defensive positioning was terrible. Sometimes they're pointing the wrong way, all that stuff. So
somehow we still managed despite terrible heavy weapons.
Yeah, and they didn't always do badly, but season 1 especially, they kind of did almost a little bit. It's fine. But yeah, you lost a lot of soldiers, like starting with the basic troopers and sergeants and stuff when you were like much lower ranked, and then all your captains and majors and like.
Why don't we go through like our 3 most notable dead?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd be happy to start because I already kind of know.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, you had a lot of like NPCs that were.
Can I guess one of them? I think is probably Diamond, because that was a rough
Diamond
one
died?
for you to. Yeah, remember
No, Diamond didn't die.
At the end of season 1.
Scarlet Diamond?
I'm pretty sure.
No. Diamond's
sorry,
been alive.
no. Diamond was kind of.
Silvat, you mean?
Silvat is the one I meant. Sorry.
Silvat, yeah. Silvat was a crazy bitch, but she was my crazy bitch.
Yeah.
I love her. And I miss her every episode because she was able to snipe anything from miles away, and she was just so good. Oh, yeah, she was amazing. Her and like Kane Wilson, like because Kane was trained by her, right? So
yeah, he was gonna replace her essentially, and then
I also am really sad about Baboyle.
Oh,
yeah, he was my big beautiful bastard. I loved him. Was so good.
Can I guess the third?
Sure.
Benapatch Cumberdict.
So he's an honorable mention. He's an honorable mention, but I wouldn't say I I don't know. I was gonna say Smythe because he ran through that artillery.
He did.
And when he didn't come back, I was really, really sad. Like he was a real one that I don't know. It shouldn't have been him. Like he was just really, really good. But yeah, I don't know. What a good dude. I mean, poor Friggle probably is like still rolling around, just being like, "Why couldn't it have been me?" You know.
Can we have an honorable survivor for Freely though?
Okay, yeah, honorable survivor and Freely, who like he a real one. He's like the perfect 2IC, honestly. Like
for the
I am
12.
so happy for the 12. Oh yeah, for the 12. Like Mans is like I literally have human black market, knows things, basically a pirate. Like this guy, that's been my notes since I found out anything about him. And oh man,
I think he's just Blackbeard.
I guess, but like maybe he gives a little bit more of a shit than like, you know, I feel like Blackbeard would, because he got kind of, you know, I mean, he tried to cover some shit up, right, to make sure that it didn't get out. Yeah. And yeah. But those are mine.
He's got loyalty there as well. Any thoughts before we move on to the next person about Macdilla?
War crimes.
What a pleasant surprise as a character. Terrifying.
I think it was like the changing of Lancaster though. Like you changed a lot of your strategies after that, I feel like.
Maybe. I mean, so the thing about the 12th was that they were always fairly ruthless killers. Like
oh, for sure.
From the start. But the thing was with the first season, we never really got to see that at all. And like it was just they were kind of more stumbling over themselves and everything and trying to find their footing. And then the minute they got a good foothold and kind of ground themselves in, they're like, okay, now we can actually like do what we need to do. And
it's hard to ruthlessly kill Tyranids, but when you're fighting rebels, then you get to like see the the full like range of what they're capable of.
Because like even when I was able to save Primer from being like carried off by one of those gargoyles, like that's kind of the same vein of what the 12th do, is that they're kind of goofballs and like little I guess they're very free people, but when it comes down to business, they'll do what they need to do kind of without hesitation, for the sake of them being able to live another day and smoke another leaf, right? So there you go.
So just before we switch to someone else, someone asked an interesting question, which is, hey GP, what happened to Victor the Lictor? It's interesting because it relays to the Draco Mal and the Mechanicus who are currently running it. That Mechanicus that you met, the Mechanicus biologist, is actually not Mechanicus. Well, he is, but he's secretly Dark Mechanicus. He's essentially he's essentially a traitor to the Imperium, and he's kind of like aligned more chaos.
That's awesome.
Victor the Lictor and other captured Tyranids and the ones underground are currently being experimented on to see if they can weaponize and utilize the like hive mind connection and like replicate it in people and etc.
We handed over Draco Mal to chaos. Oh no.
Which that's why I wanted to answer that question, because it leads into that answer.
There is chaos. It is Dawn of War 1.
I mean, they're not on the planet. They're not here currently. They're
on the next one over, but it's always chaos.
But like, obviously, the Mechanicus are always going to kind of be weird and a bit assholey, but that's why he was so worrying as an encounter. Like, just like, hey, what's up? Why are you so angry and weird? So yeah, was there anyone else like to mention there?
I can do mine.
Unfortunately lost.
So some of my notable ones, I didn't actually have that many deaths ultimately because a lot of people got injured and recovered. But one of them was when I lost Major Ty Dukes.
Ty Dukes was a good soldier.
Yeah, that was on Katic. They were my original major from the start of the season, and for a while the only major that I had. But luckily I had acquired some new majors by the time they died. But yeah, they were my original major. I put them wherever like the biggest fighting was. Because they were good at defense.
Double time.
You did lose double time.
And Crackpot. I never got to have fun with Crackpot.
It's not your segment yet. Shush. Next one is. The next one will probably be Lieutenant Carl Spot because I was very excited that he might have dogs, and then he died. Didn't really.
Did you never find out what he?
I know that he's not stopped by any terrain, but I think that's all I ever learned. He might have told me more when he died, but I didn't note it down. But I can't remember.
I do have the list here somewhere.
Tell me the secrets. I need to know. Which one was my specialist unit? Because I can't remember whether I ever encountered them or not, or whether they just like died. Or was it the Dropkeep? Was that my specialist unit?
It's very possible that was the specialist unit. Looking through it now. Where the hell is Spot?
I did think it was dogs.
Oh, so Carl Spot was a forder, siege expert, and tunneler. So essentially, you could have set him down in a spot near like rivers and whatnot. He could get over rivers really quickly, and obviously, like he was good with sieges, like both defending and attacking. So quite versatile there. The main point was that he would set down and just dig tunnels everywhere. If you put him on a mountain or on a big hill and stuff, he's like amazing at defending that stuff. So you end up with like network tunnels and supply tunnels and all that type of thing.
Oh, that could have been handy on the Ice Maiden or whatever
you're
doing.
The other one is a double bill. Is Staff Sergeants Howard and Godfrey, because they were, I think, in season 1 when we first got people under our command. Was when I got Howard and Godfrey, and I think they died at very different times, but they both died in the east side of Katic, like on the tunnel and around that area, which is sad because they were with me from the start, and I think I often paired them up on things, and I didn't realize till looking over now that they both died in the same location at very different times. Oops.
Did you not get the information on Lieutenant Winston?
Wait.
Because that's your specialist unit.
Harper Winston. Oh, the Special Forces Small Force Commander has dropped troops Unpredictable Maverick. Is that everything? Yeah. Okay, so that's who that was. All right.
It's essentially he has like it's pretty much paratroopers that can drop in anywhere. So.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
That would have been. Did we use him?
I definitely would have put him in places at points.
Yeah, he was.
I had a couple special missions for him where it was like strike this place and do a thing.
Yeah, I remember using him once or twice. Now that I think about it, I remember paratroopers.
Those are the notable mentions. Also, honorable mention Captain Baron, because I like throwing him at things all the time, and he was the guy who was specifically no admin that turned it all into. I don't have anybody admin, and like one of my top people is specifically not admin. There's no admin here. God damn it, give me an admin.
I didn't have any admin either. Don't worry.
I'd like to add the specialist mention to Captain Linton Gren, who randomly got put in the perfect position where he ended up.
Oh my god, yeah.
He ended up surviving.
That was such a good moment.
I put him on Operation Dragon Teeth.
Yeah.
We're all like, what? How did he come back? And you're like, well, here's why.
Oh yeah, because he was meant to die, but then because he was literally, he's like, I was made for this.
You deployed him in the perfect position, not knowing his specializations, and it saved his life and really helped.
Whose trooper in season 1 was it that like ran and like survived some crazy running spree. Was that yours?
Yeah,
Okay,
it
who
was
was
like-
that?
And he
definitely
died.
Phil's.
He died this. He died
Yeah,
this
he
season
died
though.
season 2.
Yeah.
That was
what was his name?
where is he?
Mithy.
That was Smythe.
Smythe.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, I
He
feel
was
like
one of the- he was one of the
deserves a
Smiths.
little bit of recognition as well.
Did all the other Smiths make it? My Smith made it.
Mine made
All the
it.
other Smiths, I
Mine-
believe, made it. Yeah.
Mine made it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do much with my Smith. He had 2 shovels, but I didn't really throw him at anything much.
He had 2 shovels.
He had some fun.
Yeah,
in
no,
season
it's
1.
awesome. He can, I don't know, spin around or something.
Mine was part of my heavy weapons group.
Mm.
Trooper Schmidt.
Mine just existed.
Smithy.
It's like, the less important they are, the less likely they are to die.
I think Smithy helped with some like messing about on a tank or a vehicle at some point.
Probably.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I used him for. He existed.
He's a bit of a handyman.
Honorable
I know
mention to
a
my
couple of mine-
100,000 reinforcements. God damn it!
Rip.
I was gonna triple my force, and then they all just died.
Honorable
That was
mention
intense.
for me having troops all over the damn place. So then when they all gathered back up, I had the most.
So silly.
That's a good question that I actually don't remember, and Tyler may remember. Didn't you hand over the vial that
Yes, I was. Yes,
to the
Lancaster
Mechanicus?
has that.
Like
no,
Lancaster
we
has
gave
that?
no.
Lancaster gave it to them, to
so
the
Yeah.
that they can. Yeah.
research team. So
Wait, you did?
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So they
Oh
don't.
no.
I'm
Oh
pretty.
no.
What was that? That was some kind of
was a
biological
parasite.
weapon? It was a
It was a
parasite.
parasite.
Yeah.
So
Russian
now
soap or whatever.
Oops.
Yeah. Soap. Special operations and
practices.
practices.
Yep, Draco Mal's just like a Dark Forge world now or something.
Jeez.
At least they got soap.
Like a Bioforge world. Is worse.
Well, yeah, you've basically assisted and armed a chaos force. There's, you know.
Can we
Nothing
like
bad could
redirect
happen
the
in that
Tyranids
case.
like back to Draco Mal? It's like that's where you're going. That's where the signal came from. What are you stopping off here for? Go straight
Signal's
there.
over here. Yeah.
It's like go see what happens when Shadow of the Warp hits Chaos. That'll be fun to watch.
Oh, jeez.
All right, Tyler, your turn.
I pretty much interjected all of my stuff.
Yeah.
You can go through them again.
I'm just sad I lost double time.
Double Time was such a fun character.
Also, I did not get to use hardball at all. He just deployed and then died.
Mm,
Oh.
And he was my infrastructure and expert on logistics.
yes.
Would have been handy.
Alphys and Omika, I never actually got to have a cool combat with them involved. It was always
No.
there behind the scenes with Rearguard, and I had a special mission for them. And then the orc dropped on them again, and then the Tyranids dropped on them.
And
If
dropped
it
on them again.
helps- If it helps, they did a lot of damage before they went down.
That's
To
great.
the production base that was immediately nuked.
Citadel, who also would have been great, died right at the end. And I never
Yeah.
got to have fun with Crackpot. The Crackpot would have been so fun when we got to the point where Primer could be in combat with him.
It would have been very interesting if he found out that Primer was one. I think he'd have a lot of thoughts on that.
Well, he found out, right?
Mm.
Oh wait,
No, he
died.
died.
He
died.
died
He
before.
did.
Well,
He did.
He did.
He had did boy.
He's
Did
a
it
Yeah.
dad boy.
but that does mean a new. Well, it won't be Crackpot, but it means a new number one.
It'll be a
for
young
us.
survivor though.
Always goes to an old man.
You know, it's always
Oh,
someone
yeah, I
old
forgot that one
that
goes to the
like
old man.
re-enlists, so it still works. There's probably a
Maybe
high
if
turnover
Primer
rate because
survives and
people show up at,
loses-
like 70.
You know, it'd be really funny.
Mm.
Primer survives and with amnesia from a head trauma, and they assign him number 7 instead of number 1 because he handed off his thing.
Yeah.
Like there's an extra scratch goes on the 1 by accident and it looks like a 7. Like, oh wow, this is 7.
Oh, I'm 7, am I?
No, because he doesn't. I handed off my dog tags.
Mm.
Primer handed off his dog tags too.
Yeah, so I still have them.
Lancaster would totally accidentally let that get scratched, though.
I don't know know about that. Lancaster's pretty protective
probably
about like stuff
protected
that's
it, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
you know.
I mean, it's probably
So, I
scratched to
don't
hell
know.
anyway. Can you even see the one? Someone probably
Like,
it's like
We've
rusted.
been through a lot together.
Yeah.
It was like a family reunion when we got together and we're like, oh, you're all on this planet too? It was cute.
Yeah, what's that? Well, actually,
we
I
got
think I was
separated and then-
new. I was new
Mm.
to the group.
Yeah.
Rackenbacher and Primer knew each other from the last thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I meant like we all had been through that war
Oh, for
together.
the
And then we got
next-
separated and then we
Yeah,
came
for
back together
season
for
2.
this for Caddick. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But you are right. In season 1, Rickenbacker and Primer were the
Primer.
only ones who knew each other prior.
Yeah.
You'd both been there at
We're war
the
buddies.
ambush on
We'll see,
Catholic.
it's a little competition now. It's like, who's going to kill the most?
I think you won.
I think you.
Hmm.
Well, the war's
I
not
don't
over
know.
yet, so the
It's not
tally could still
over.
go.
So another question that just shot in was what some of the biggest foreshadowings or red herrings that players either picked up or completely missed. I think probably the mention of the orcs nearby, the warg or war.
Completely missed
The
that.
Elder are coming. The Elder are here.
The
I think
Eldar,
that
yeah.
was.
Yeah, the Eldar weren't, like the problem is the mention of orcs was season 1 at the beginning, and it was the reason you were in the area and why the whole Katic thing happened. And it was something where later on, when the orcs turned up, I was like, "Hey, you remember when I mentioned that thing about the orcs? Like that's why they're here now." I think the other foreshadowing is it's not really foreshadowing, but it's just fun was help they're coming. Like that whole
Oh yeah.
episode on Halloween, and just like it
There
was
was
a lot of fun.
there was a shadow on the warp as well, where you sit, like you faked us out. I mean, I did know about it because Cheapy told me what was happening because I'm producing and might be important. But so I saw it immediately, but like you were like, oh,
We
we're
thought our
having trouble with our
troops were coming.
communications. And then we're like, oh no, that's weird. You should look into
I-
that. And they're like, we're gonna look at it.
Mm.
And then it's like, everyone died. And then it's like, hey, there's orcs. And it's like, oh, it must be the orcs. But no, they saw the nids behind the orcs.
They saw the nids behind the orcs. That was fun, yeah.
See, and I didn't think it was the Tyranids. I thought it was the Eldar that messed that up. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on.
It was very fun when the second cast found the Dark Eldar blaster, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's
Wait,
Dark
Dark
Eldar."
Oh, it's Dark Eldar.
The pistol was Dark Eldar tech.
Oh,
I didn't know that because I missed all of the episodes aside from the first cast. So
Well, that was your cast, to be fair. Like, you even came in for a quick cameo in the episode.
yeah, at the end of that one
Oh,
because it was fun.
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of any other like big foreshadowings that were either like red herrings or missed though. Off the top of my head, I'm sure there were a few. I tend to sprinkle them in. It's fun for people to look back and go, "Oh." I guess the Dark Mechanicus part was a little bit of a foreshadowing, but I didn't. There was no way to know. And the only thing that
Well,
would
if somebody was checking to see if they were suspicious,
yeah,
no, everyone just assumed that it's all good. Give them all the tech, all the research.
But that's really in character. As Imperial
Yeah, no, for
Guardsmen,
sure.
you're just gonna be like, okay, this person knows what they're doing, and they're probably higher rank than me. I obey orders and do my best. So yeah.
Also, like,
100%.
what were we really gonna do with it?
I don't
Like,
know.
we had nothing that we
Hearsay.
really could do with it, right? So
Yeah.
it's kind of like, I don't know. But anyway, I gotta say, like, it has been an absolute pleasure to play with everybody for the last like 2
Yeah.
seasons.
It's
So
been
like,
I
awesome.
it's
love
been-
how different all of our regiments were. We really built out like these
Yeah.
really cool
Mm.
regiments with history and background and like culture, and I love it all.
I
And
love the
also-
1-4. They're great. And like everything that everyone else made.
Exactly. Well, and with the rear guard and how everyone's kind of like fleshed it out and made something their own as well. Like I really appreciate that. Like I've never had like a group or a community be so ravenous for like backstory information, and it's a real pleasure to see. So like big thank you to everyone watching and everyone who's watched on like YouTube and subscribe for it and whatever. So yeah.
And also from myself as GM to you guys as players, like it's very different from the kind of standard norm. For you guys to be able to come out and freaking command giant armies and do like tactics and even like more kind of, let's call it, grand strategy for the sake of argument, is like it's a very different prospect to being a D&D party or something. Like it's super different. So like,
it gives me like Risk vibes. For my troops, my mentions. Obviously, first and foremost is Sergeant Deffenbacher, who died protecting me from our rear. I think the rear guard killed him, but he did so many other cool things in there. So he was like a super loyal, like he was like a shield wall bro.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see as much from him because I think he died like early on.
Pretty early, yeah.
Yeah, but
it was season 1 death, I think.
Yeah. And then I think beyond that was probably, it was rough losing Captain Prager because like that's my winter specialist and they had been there with me for a long time. And then probably oddly a lot of my sergeants, Sergeant Bognar, who was like my beef tank dude. He was such a badass. He did so many badass things, and then he died. But you know what?
I would say maybe the major in season 1 who commanded you on the hill.
Yes.
Because like you had some, like, I know she wasn't one of your
she wasn't one of my troops, but yeah, that was rough when she died.
It was either her or the replacement who took command of you and then got killed by the artillery, like getting you all into the trenches and stuff. And she just got like, because she was already
ladies.
She was really
Major
competent
Briggs,
commander, and she just got like unceremoniously shuffled off.
You were like, oh, we
that's
finally
so
have a really
right.
good
Like
commander.
We were all like,
we were
yay,
so
finally
excited.
someone who gets it. Yeah.
Oh, and then she like immediately dies.
Yeah, first time you saw Ironclad like all excited too. Like,
yeah.
This is why we can't have nice things. This is why we end up with
Major breaks.
Cumberdict.
I mean, I still love the one that woman crush Vandy over here was with the Iron Brig lady. Yeah,
it was Major Briggs. Yeah,
it was Briggs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think everyone did. They were just like, please step on me.
Yeah.
She was very, very no nonsense. I was actually wondering if he got like reassigned to her. I thought she would probably just straight up kill Cumberdict, yeah.
Oh yeah.
An actual competent commander would be like, you are making everything around you worse. Removing you from the situation will actively
that's
make
how Iron Breaks handle things, right?
Stronger.
It's like super, like you get lashings. You lash yourself. I think there was a scene where that was happening. People were like,
so, yeah.
Vandy was like, what's happening?
Yeah.
I literally thought, I was like, okay, this is so far beyond what and like anything that we understand as, the 12th. It's
and I think for me, I do want to do like a shout out to Staff Sergeant Chaplain Nolan, Standard Bearer. I think you got to see a lot more of him in season 1 because we did a lot more like RP with our troops.
Yeah.
And he was like kind of always there, like almost like the pastor of the troops,
I'd also like to do a shout out for lost or missed opportunities for crap, I can't remember his name. It's Sergeant Schultz, I think. The one who lost his faith and was broken. We just never got to explore.
Well, that was Sergeant Grobe. Sorry, he was my adjunct.
I was like, I don't remember.
He was the one who I was telling to like do stuff all the time. He was we had him there and he was doing stuff for me, but yeah, he didn't really.
We never got to explore. It just never like petered out where we could explore his broken.
There would have been some
stuff.
cool scenes there that I think Rickenbacker could have taught him. That's why I was wondering, is his faith restored? Because he's been at her side since season 1 as her adjunct, specifically because she was told like Chaplain Nolan told her, oh, I think he's lost his faith. Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I want him next to me all the time.
Yeah, it's like mother hen him. It's just like, you stand here.
Yeah.
I would say I don't think he's like come back up, like his faith isn't restored. I think he probably sees a little bit more hope than he did before. But the situation is just so things happening and getting worse and getting more dangerous that it's hard to, if you're already negative, it's hard to be like pick yourself up from that. I would say, not unequivocally, but most likely, if you guys make it through this, then there's lights at the end of the tunnel in that instance. Yeah.
Interesting.
We should probably bring it to a close as the time is getting late. I just want to, for me, wrap up by saying, when I signed up to produce this, it was a dumb idea. It was a huge project, and I barely ever done any producing before. I was like, yeah, no, I can make this happen. And it's been stressful at times, and coordinating all these people has been a lot. But it worked, and I'm so glad that it did, and that it all came together.
Behind the scenes. In the front of the scenes, you guys are like, oh, new episode every week. Behind the scenes, Bentham's like, fire's going on. People not being able to make an episode that they originally were going to be contracted for, and he's just like running around.
Is it trying to make the schedules align so that like people that work well together are in the same cast as each other?
Oh, that's a whole thing too.
And that whole thing, and like some of that was luck, and some of that was skill. Damn it, and I'll claim it where it happens. But yeah, no, it's been been awesome, and I'm so glad it came together, and it has been a great time, if at times a little bit stressful. And yeah, I like, as of right now, it is it's the joint most people to have been in a roll for it thing. 19 different people have been on this show. Right? And yeah, Ascension is also at 19 until Thursday, at which point it will be 20 and it will have beaten me again. But I for a brief moment, I was running the joint most people involved project Rollford has done, which was
yours is more complicated though, because producing this show was like every week there was like, every couple weeks.
Yeah, it was more condensed.
Whereas
it was
mine
a
is like
6 month period of like
episodes.
new cast, 6 weeks, new cast, 6 weeks, new cast.
Every 4 to 2 it has been different.
Yeah. And so yeah, no, it's been great, and I'm glad it all worked out. I'm glad everyone enjoyed it and thought it was all cool. Yeah, we should wrap it up unless anyone else wants to say anything.
40K is always fun.
I love 40K.
Thank you all.
There's so many different aspects to delve into, so it's fun.
All right, we will wrap it up there. Thank you all for watching The Last Ditch Season 2. We appreciate you coming by and enjoying it and all that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time, whenever that may be.